America is in an affordability crisis, and at this point is almost like just saying the sky is blue. But do not just take it from me. Last month, a Harris poll conducted on behalf of The Guardian found that a whopping 95% of Americans believe it too. I can tell you somebody who probably is in that other 5%.
Our costs are coming way down. You know, they talk about affordability. I took over the country. The prices were through the roof. In my first day, the press said, what are you going to do about affordability? It was a word they devised, affordability. They never used that word before.
That's called gaslighting. That was our president in Las Vegas on Wednesday, speaking at a rally where he was supposed to tout his economic achievements. But instead, in classic Trump fashion, he mocked the very issue that has got him underwater with so many Americans. A Reuters Ipsos poll released on Wednesday found that 70% of Americans disapprove of Trump's handling of the cost of living and of inflation. And that comes as the rising cost of just basic stuff continues to squeeze household budgets, like gas, which is almost $1 more than this time last year. Average today, $4 nationally. Groceries, according to the data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, are up a nutty 33% since 2019, the largest jump in 50 years. Housing, too. According to a June report from Harvard, nearly half of all households that rent are spending more than a third of their income on housing. More than 12 million people spend over half of all of their income on rent. CNBC says it's a top political issue for young voters. And then there's the newest jobs report, and it is a grim jobs report. The economy lost 23,000 jobs. It fell majorly short of the expectations economists had, 80,000 job gain. It also revised the preliminary May and June figures, which is normal, but it went downward by a combined 100,000 jobs. So between May and July, that is nearly 200,000 fewer jobs than expected. 200,000 fewer jobs. That is nuts. Check out what one New Yorker told me very recently. When you talk about the economy, you're here for a job interview. How is it right now on the job market?
Brutal. Awful. Every job's getting hundreds of applications. A lot of professionals are having to slum it and do service jobs. So the service jobs are, crowded fields as well.
Meanwhile, Axios reports based on data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics that U.S. workers' share of national income hit a new low. In other words, capital, especially in AI industries, are booming as laborers are left with the smaller piece of the pie. I have covered Donald Trump and the economy for a very long while now. And for a long while, Trump has leaned on a kind of, magical thinking about the economy. He seems to believe that he can speak things into existence, like declare a golden age and make it so. Look, a slumping economy and affordability struggles are not unique to President Trump. Presidential administrations, Republican and Democrat, have had to navigate them. And as a journalist, I have been reporting on all these affordability issues for years. This report from 2019 that I did could be plopped right into 2026, and it still rings true. Families in California coping with the rising cost of living.
There's so many RVs now, and a lot of people that also living in an encampment. Those are the people, a lot of them are actually used to live in an RV.
The people that are living in tents.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. What you're saying is a lot of people are losing their RVs?
Yeah, because they either go to work and then they come back and the RV's gone.
Yeah,
so
they bring food.
Last I saw you was at college.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
I'm doing good at college.
Are you?
Yes. I have to balance school, I have to balance work, I have to balance family and friends. And coming home is kind of like a burden because, you don't know where your home's going to be. I still have to make my bed. This is my bed right here.
So you slept right here last night?
Yeah. And then waking up is also a hassle. I don't know where the RV is going to be in the morning. So I have to wake up earlier so I could actually get to school on time. It's hard.
That's Lily, Hannah, and Carly. I will never forget them. As I said, affordability issues are not unique to the Trump presidency, but he promised the American people a golden age. He got elected on the promise of lower gas prices. He promised you more jobs. What did we get instead? We got a war with Iran, and we got tariffs up the wazoo. And this continued mocking and dismissal of Americans who are struggling is more than him, propping up a rosy picture for the midterms. It is just a profound lack of understanding. It is a disconnect with the American lower class, middle class, the American working person. Joining me now is Tara Raghuveer, director of the Tenant Union Federation. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jacob.
The housing market, as those numbers indicate, is in a super rough spot. Rents up in 2025. More than 745,000 Americans experienced homelessness. What's the story that you see of how we got here?
The most important thing to say is that Trump is a hypocrite. He ran on the economy, blaming the Biden administration for the affordability crisis. And meanwhile, around every corner, he insists on kicking Americans in their pocketbooks. You spoke about the price of gas. It's over $4 across the country. That's because of Trump's ongoing war with Iran, that gas prices are up 29% over last year. You talked about groceries, and not only is the price of food up at the grocery store, but also since last year, 4.5 million people have been kicked off of food stamps. And that's because of Trump's big, cruel bill. And 1.5 million of those people, by the way, are children. And then, of course, in my area organizing on housing costs, the cost of housing is already Americans' biggest expense. And because of Trump's tariffs, and also because of Trump's racist immigration policies, construction costs are up and the construction workforce is decimated. That only exacerbates the problem where home prices are already 5 times above the average American income. It's the most expensive time to be a homeowner in recent American history, and median rent across the country is over $2,000. That means that an average worker needs to work 116 hours a week. That's 3 full-time jobs in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment.